So I want to do an update. The news came down today. I did a video. About this probably about 3 weeks ago. I want to say maybe when it came out that Puff was attempting to sell one of his mansions. Make sure y'all share this video, man. Share this video. Hurry up. Do it now. Do it right now. Hurry up. Jamil, what's up, Jamil? Jamil in the house, man. Jamil, what's up, Jamil? Jamil in the house, man. Daryl Samuels, what up, man?
Self-perception. You're not gonna have.
I don't want to do that. Tyrone Phillips. Sumata. Keywan Bailey. Keywan, what about it? Now, what happened? What happened with Funny Blue Jacket, Keywan? What happened with Funny Blue Jacket? All right, so look, I did a video about this. He's trying to get his case dismissed. Which one? Which one, Tyrone? His film studio. Now, what happened with Funny Blue Jacket? Racine Provost, what up? Y'all make sure y'all share this video. Puff coming home August 7th. Sean G, what you think? I don't know about August 7th. I don't know. That's what everybody is saying. I don't know. Against the young lady who was suing him. What'd he do? He filed a motion to dismiss? He filed a motion to dismiss? All right. Make sure we get to that. Okay, make sure we get to that before I leave. But about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a video on this. Puff was trying to sell. He owns 2 houses. John Pete, what up? What's up, Vaughn? He owns 2 houses in Miami. I know the one house, 2-Star Island, he owned that one free and clear because he paid off that mortgage, which was about $48 million before the trial, and he was attempting to put that up for the bail package that the government denied. And then right next door, I think this was his mom's crib. I don't know. But he owned the crib right next door. That is the house that he sold today. This is the guest house. I think he bought the house for like $35 million a little while back, sold it for $55 million. So he had a capital gain, a net gain of $20 million. I don't know Puff's financial situation, but I highly doubt that he has money issues. You listen to other people tell it, they're always going to try to put the spin on it that he's liquidating assets because he's got money problems, he's got to pay this, pay that. Don't believe none of that. Hit that like button, y'all. I got 70 people in here, only 9 likes. Put them likes, get me up to 30 likes. So what happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago? Palm G, what up? is that an entity, I think it was called One Star Island LLC, something to that effect, attempted to sell One Star Island. They went through the whole process. When they got to the closing, the LLC, One Star Island LLC, that owns One Star Island, which is Puffy's guest home, could not provide clean, clear, marketable title. There were clouds on the title, meaning that there were outstanding loans. One loan, I think, was from Bank of America for about 20 million. And then there was another loan from another bank, I think, for like 12 million. When you get to the closing, those of you that do real estate, you know this. I used to be a licensed real estate broker. That's how I got rich the first time around, was in the real estate game. Before you buy a piece of property, as the buyer, you should hire a title company, or your lawyer should get a title search. What a title search is that a title company goes to the city hall where the property is located, and they go down into the vault where all of the real estate titles are, and they pull the title and they check what are the outstanding judgments, liens, or anything against that particular property. Is it IRS taxes? Is it water company bill? Is it back taxes? Is it a bank loan? Is it a HELOC, a home equity loan? You know, and all of this is going to be listed on the title. Now, as a buyer, what you want before you close on a house is clear title, so that when you close, you are the first person in line who gets paid first if the house is sold. If there are outstanding liens, water bill liens, sewage bill liens, IRS debt, and you still buy the house, in that case, you will be number 4 in line. The IRS, when that property gets sold, the IRS will get paid first, then the sewer company, then the water, then you. So you have to make sure that there are no liens ahead of you when you buy a house. Put them likes on 50, y'all. So what happened was, when they got to the closing 2-3 weeks ago, these 2 liens jumped out. One from Bank of America and another one, I want to say maybe Wells Fargo. If I remember correctly, I got it over there in my paperwork, but I'm not going to worry about that. But just trust what I'm saying. You could do your own research. So what that meant was that, you know, they couldn't close. That's what the buyer of the property said. Now, I talked to somebody on Puff's team, his publicist, and Puffy's publicist told me that they were ready to close. The LLC that owns the property was ready to close. Red Hook, Brooklyn, what up? But that the buyer did not have the down payment money. So you have a case where the buyer is blaming the seller and the seller is blaming the buyer. Long story short, the deal doesn't close. So the buyer at that point went and filed a motion with the county court in Miami to force the sale of the property and to put a cloud on the property that there is a legal action going on, and this would scare people away. This would give time to the buyer to raise the money maybe they didn't have, and it will give time to the seller to clear up whatever title issues. Long story short, everything went down. The property got sold. I don't know if there were any outstanding liens against the property. I'm not sure. I don't think so. So if there were no outstanding liens, Puff has got $55 million liquid cash in the bank, ready to be utilized or put to work into making his comeback. That being said, also the house next door, 2-Star Island, is owned free and clear, or at least it was at the beginning of the trial, because like I say, Puff paid it off. It had an $18 million lien against it. It was worth $48 million. He had paid $30 million toward it. So when he knew he was going to get indicted, he paid off the other 18 so that he owned 2-Star Island free and clear, which was worth $48 million at the time. Who knows what it's worth now? So he's sitting on $55 million cash, and another property right next door that's worth maybe $60 million. So then he's receiving royalties from the music, you know what I'm saying? So I highly doubt that he's got financial issues. I don't know his financial situation, but I highly doubt it. Remember, if you watched Funny Blue Jacket's documentary, in the documentary, there's footage of Puffy calling somebody saying that he just got a $200 million check from Diageo for a settlement. So he got the $2 million check a month before he got arrested. Then he owned 2-Star Island free and clear, 1-Star Island free and clear. That's about $300 million and some change. And then not even including whatever kind of assets he may have had. So yes, he's had some legal fees, a ton of legal fees. I don't know what he's paid his lawyers, but it's nowhere near $200 million. I don't think it's 15 million, maybe 20 million. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But just giving you some perspective on, and he still got the house in LA. That's right. Fun and more. That's right, Myra. He still got the house in LA that he had on the market for $65 million. I don't know if he owns that one free and clear. But don't believe the hype. Don't listen to the nonsense that this was a forced sale. Cause look, you can't believe her. This woman was at the trial in New York City with me. She was on the 26th floor. I was on the 24th floor, in the overflow, in the back. I destroyed her at the trial. She lost. She was hired by Funny Blue Jacket to make all of these negative videos about Puff. This woman was the only YouTuber, only mainstream media journalist, the only person there that had 24-hour armed security, gun on the side, every single day. But I took her to school. I beat her. I beat Lauren LaRosa from the Breakfast Club. I taught Lauren LaRosa how to be a journalist. I taught Tisa Tells how to be a journalist. I taught Jerica Duncan from ABC or CBS how to be a journalist. She was anti-Puff. I taught Laura Coates from CNN how to be a journalist. She was anti-Puff. I taught Nancy Grace how to be a journalist. I taught Piers Morgan how to be a journalist. I taught Fox News how to be a journalist. Megyn Kelly how to be a journalist. TMZ. They all learned from me. They watched me prevail. I won. I was the only one advocating for Puff at the trial against the likes of this individual. She, after Puff was acquitted, the YouTubers, 2 to 3 YouTubers, was gonna kick her ass outside the courtroom in front of her armed security. She tried to come down to the overflow after Puff got acquitted. She was so embarrassed, she couldn't go back into the main courtroom on the 26th floor with Puffy's mother and Puffy's kids, right? And Holly, the publicist. She dipped out. She dipped out. She dipped out of the 26th floor. She dipped out. She dipped out of the 26th floor. And then she tried to tiptoe. She tried to tiptoe down to the 24th floor, to the overflow. And we wasn't having it. We wasn't having it. They stepped to her. 3 YouTubers stepped to her, called her a liar, told her, you owe Puff an apology. You're a liar. She was scared to get on the elevator, to come downstairs. I was there. I was there. I saw the whole thing on the 24th floor, in the overflow. She was scared to get on the elevator. So you can't believe nothing that she says. You can't believe nothing that nobody says. All of these people were anti-Puff, were against Puff throughout the whole trial. They're telling me now there was some other people that was pro-Puff. I don't remember seeing them. Not saying they weren't there, or maybe I was so engulfed and wrapped up in my coverage that I couldn't see who was covering or not, and I really didn't care. So this is not a bad thing for Puff. If anything, this is a good thing. This gives him some liquid cash. The comeback has started. He's looking at some home confinement. I'm predicting in the next 45 days, he'll be out of Fort Dix. So this was a good thing, okay? He bought it for $35 million, sold it for $55 million. How can that be a bad thing, okay? You raise capital. I used to sell properties all the time. If I had one and I needed some cash, I would sell a property to raise cash. It did not mean that I was broke. Maybe I needed that capital to invest elsewhere. So that's the extent of what's going on with the house being sold, and you know, I don't know nothing else, but it's not a bad thing. How could it be a bad thing when you're raising money? Okay, it can't be a bad thing. It can only be a good thing. So, what else? Anything else? What else y'all want to talk about? Iris Woods, you keep on attacking that lady, you are going to get yourself in trouble. The feds got the guy that attacked Tisa. The feds found him in Texas with a baby. I don't know what you're talking about, Iris. Anthony Wright, what's up, man? Shout out to Anthony Wright. So, not going to stay on here too long tonight. Let me see what somebody said something about the Monique Mayers case. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Can't let y'all see my login. Hold on, y'all. I'm logging in. Okay. So let's look up. This is the 50 Cent case. Well, this is the Monique Mayers case. Okay, so he did file a motion to dismiss. Let's check it out. All right. Defendant's motion to dismiss. All right, here we go. All right, so we got it here. It's defendant Curtis J. Jackson, by and through his undersigned counsel, hereby moves this court to dismiss the First Amendment complaint filed by plaintiff Monique Mayers for lack of personal jurisdiction pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b2 and failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted pursuant to Rule 2b6. Jackson also requests an award of his reasonable attorney fees and expenses pursuant. This motion is based on the memorandum of law submitted herewith, as well as any additional authorities and arguments which Jackson may rely on in support of the motion. The pleadings, papers, and other records on file in this action and such additional evidence, argument, or other matters that may be presented at or before the hearing on this motion. Wherefore, Jackson respectfully requests that this court enter an order granting this motion, dismissing the First Amendment complaint and awarding such other and further relief it deems appropriate. All right, so here we go. This is file a motion to dismiss. I hereby certify that I electronically filed defendant's motion to dismiss the First Amendment complaint with the clerk of the court using the CM ECF system, which will automatically send notice to the counsel of record. All right, so Funny Blue Jacket filed the motion to dismiss. I'm gonna do a separate video on that probably tomorrow. but just wanted to get this information out there to you. I don't see any issues with selling a house and raising cash. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think Puff is in dire financial straits. I still think he's got plenty of money. Although he probably had to tighten up on some expenses, but I don't think this is anything too big to worry about. Peace.